Going viral is supposed to be the dream. One video, one tweet, one moment, and suddenly your life changes forever. You get views, followers, DMs, opportunities. Except for a lot of people, especially if you're marginalized, going viral doesn't change your life. It wrecks it. The internet loves a spectacle, but it doesn't love the people behind it. And when your identity is part of the reason you blew up, because you're black, queer, trans, disabled, poor, the risks multiply. Because the more visible you are, the more exposed you become. Not just to praise, but to targeting. For marginalized creators, virality isn't a breakthrough. It's often a breaking point. Let's talk about how it actually works. When a piece of content blows up, it stops belonging to you. People stitch it, duet it, download it, remix it. They take your words out of context. They turn your face into a meme. They argue about you like you're not even real. And if the algorithm decides you're trending, the spotlight doesn't come with boundaries. It doesn't ask for consent. It just exposes you. The comments flood in. Some supportive, but many invasive or cruel. Strangers psychoanalyze your trauma. They question your identity. They mock your accent, your skin tone, your disability. They speculate about your body. They weaponize your past. And suddenly, the video you posted for your community, or for yourself, becomes content for the masses. You're no longer a person, you're a symbol. And once that happens, the platform keeps pushing you, because your pain performs well. This is the cycle. Something real gets shared. The algorithm picks it up. It goes viral. The creator becomes a trending topic. Then the backlash starts. And eventually, the person disappears. Deleted, deactivated, or just emotionally done.
Approximately 12 years ago from today, a now legendary YouTube video was uploaded to the site. It stood the test of time and has likely been played in many a high school physics class after the massive viral success of his dimensional diatribe. These lectures would continue for some time until suddenly, out of nowhere, XKCD Hat Guy vanished from YouTube, leaving behind a legion of confused fans that feared for the worst. So what actually happened to XKCD Hat Guy, the fourth dimensional genius of YouTube?
We rarely talk about what happens after the viral moment. The pressure to follow it up with something even better. The people demanding more trauma, more vulnerability, more realness. The feeling that you can't post anything normal ever again, because now you're a brand. Even when the virality is positive, it can be overwhelming. You can't trust who's reaching out to you. You don't know what you're worth, or what your content is worth. And platforms don't offer support. There's no help desk for emotional whiplash. No prep course for how to handle being known by a million strangers overnight, especially when you didn't ask for it. And the worst part? The internet moves on. Your video gets archived in someone else's compilation. Your face is still floating around in memes. But your voice? Gone. You're left with the emotional mess, the public pressure, and in many cases, nothing else. No money, no protection, no career, just exposure and exhaustion. Meanwhile, the platform profits. They got ad revenue, they got engagement, they got new users. They used your moment, your identity, your vulnerability, to grow their brand. But did they invest in you? Because for them, creators are disposable.
It has somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 billion views, something no one was ever supposed to see. The fear was that people weren't laughing with him, but at him. He revisits the trauma, how he had to leave school, and how the media attention forced his family to move out of their home.
virality is a resource to extract. And marginalized creators are the most extractable of all, because they're the least protected and the easiest to ignore once the trend is over. This is the dark side of visibility. It's not just about trolls or hate comments, it's about how the entire system is built to reward performance over protection, engagement over empathy, profit over people. And if you're from a community that's already been systemically erased, surveilled, or dehumanized, going viral doesn't make you safer. It just puts a bigger target on your back. Going viral doesn't just put you in the spotlight, it puts you in a machine. And once you're in, it's hard to get out. Suddenly, you're expected to keep performing. Not just for the algorithm, but for the people who followed you because of that video. The one where you opened up. The one where you broke down. The one where you shared something personal, painful, or powerful. And now, every post feels like pressure. You start measuring your worth by views. You feel guilty when your numbers drop. You wonder if you'll ever go viral again, or if that was your only shot. And if you're from a marginalized background, the pressure is even worse. Because you're not just posting, you're representing. You become the disabled creator, the black activist, the poor kid with a story. People start asking you to speak on every issue, even ones you never signed up for. Your trauma becomes a public property. Your identity becomes content. And your personal boundaries disappear.
Do you remember this kid? The kid who made a song about Logan Paul? This is him now.
And all this crazy stuff. What I'm saying is that's some evidence right
My
there.
Trip with Logan Paul became Zirkin's second YouTube video to hit over 1 million views. Where is he now? What is he doing? Although his collaborations and association with Logan have brought him fame, they have also sparked severe criticism against the young YouTuber. Many believe he lacks originality and simply copies content from Logan Paul.
This is what digital burnout looks like. It's not just being tired, it's being exhausted by the constant demand to stay relevant, stay vulnerable, and stay online. Especially when stepping away means losing the only platform you've built. Meanwhile, while you're navigating all that, someone else is stealing your content. Copying your voice, mimicking your story, turning your pain into their aesthetic. We've all seen it. Creators with privilege remixing marginalized experiences for clout. Getting brand deals, getting praise, getting paid. This is where virality becomes theft. Because the system doesn't reward the originator, it rewards the replicator, the polished version. The safer version, the one that can go mainstream without making anyone uncomfortable. And platforms don't stop it, they don't step in, because replication is engagement. Engagement is profit, and profit is the only thing that matters. It's no wonder so many marginalized creators either burn out or give up. Because even if you build a following, monetize your content, or get a moment of visibility, you're still playing on a rigged stage. A stage where your community guidelines don't protect you, where your trauma is a trend, where the algorithm uses your identity to build itself, and then buries you when you no longer perform.
This is a video I never planned on making. Michaela Rains passed away.
He revealed Michaela had taken her life, leaving behind both wildlife and her husband and 3-year-old daughter, Freya. The loss was devastating. How could someone who was so full of life suddenly be gone? Michaela had autism, depression, and borderline personality disorder. And while this increased sensitivity allowed her to bond with animals, it also made her vulnerable to not only the ups and downs of a life lived online. You had a fox lose a leg a year ago and you just now fixed the fencing? And you think that makes you look good? Stop taking in new animals. Get your shit figured out. You could do well, but your head is too far up your own ass to do so. If you don't want to deal with the public, then maybe just stick to OF. Other users allegedly took their comments a step further by accusing Michaela of SAing her animals. Their evidence? Animals were in the background of some of her provocative photos.
If the people that did this can have the time to self-reflect on what they've said and what they've done, and how just a simple comment online can be such a personal thing to someone else that's reading it.
But this story doesn't have to end in silence. There's a growing wave of creators demanding more. More transparency, more support, more protection, more credit. They're building collectives, starting mutual aid funds, creating off-platform communities, and pushing back against systems that treat them like disposable entertainment. They're redefining what success looks like, not in numbers, but in sustainability. Not in virality, but in agency. Because being seen shouldn't mean being used. Being heard shouldn't mean being hunted. And going viral shouldn't mean losing yourself. We need platforms that invest in the people who power them. We need protections for creators who didn't ask to become content. We need systems that treat marginalized voices with care, not just clicks. Because the internet was supposed to give everyone a voice. But a voice without safety is just another form of exploitation. And visibility without dignity is just another kind of erasure. So if you've ever looked at someone who went viral and thought, wow, they made it, look again and ask what they had to survive to get there.